WGS-TV.
Welcome to another installment of WGS-TV right here on YouTube.com/WrestleGamer and ZFX-TV. I'm Double B Billy Boudreaux, and this is going to be my main event review for the week of October 10th, 2012. This week's featured match was Big Show and Randy Orton. Now, just like last week on WWE's main event when we saw Sheamus and CM Punk and the way they build up those two by kind of having like video montages of their backgrounds for Sheamus and CM Punk. They did the exact same thing here with Big Show and Randy Orton. They showed clips kind of building up who... It's basically an introduction to Big Show and Randy Orton. I was on Skype call with the Shining Star Rick Star, and he is still just absolutely confused and still wondering why in the world we're still having these kind of montages on main event wrestling, WWE main event. So I really don't know how to specifically to answer that. Logically speaking, it's a new show on a new network. To kind of introducing those of people who aren't familiar with WWE programming to the stars on Ion Television. I really can't speak for the WWE and what they're saying. I'm just making a logical guess. But anyway, as far as the match content was concerned, this was a great match with Big Show and Randy Orton. There's a reason why it's called main event, and they can main event any kind of show just like they did on SmackDown for the #1 contendership. This was by far a really great match. We saw some really good classic wrestling moves. Big Show brought back the Colossal Clutch in this one. He actually started using the abdominal clutch, the abdominal claw rather. I do apologize. It was made famous by the Von Erich family. Not only was the Iron Claw good for a head type submission, but it was also used in the abdomen, in the stomach area. So it was good to see Big Show actually utilize an Iron Claw for once. Not very often we see him use it, but he used it tonight on Randy Orton. Randy Orton had a lot of great spots too. His normal DDT off the ropes, we usually see it through the middle ropes. He did on the top for against the Big Show. He did hit the RKO, but Big Show rolled to the outside. Tried to do it on the outside and on the Big Show, and that didn't pan out, which kind of spelled disaster for Randy Orton. And the finish came with a Big Show. He had the Colossal Clutch on, then released it, dropped 2 elbows into the lower lumbar area, the lower back of Randy Orton, and followed it up with a choke slam, which finished off the Viper. What really surprises me is there were no run-ins in this match. I mean, you would have figured, with everything that went down with Sheamus and the Big Show on Monday Night Raw, we were to get a run-in from Sheamus, cause a distraction or something to do more build into their match, or maybe Alberto Del Rio to come out and attack Randy Orton. We didn't get that from either of these guys, so I guess they just wanted to go out there and put on a really good match, and it was a really good match. The only thing that's really going to keep it from getting a good score, because right now I'm going to tell you right off the bat, 3.5 out of 5. The reason why I'm deducting a half a point from this, and what's keeping it from being a 4 out of 5, was the amount of commercials. There were a ton of commercials breaks during this match. I want to say about 5 or 6 commercial breaks, and I can understand, it's a different network, maybe they have a different style of when to take commercial breaks, but maybe just a little bit too much for my taste. But I'm only speaking for myself. This is why I'm doing my review. I'm giving I'm voicing my opinions and getting them out there to you, and see if you guys can, agree with me or not. Then we had Sheamus backstage. He was following up with it was basically a follow-up promo. Big Show, made a declaration that, come after Hell in a Cell, he's going to be calling himself the world's largest champion. And, they had a follow-up promo with Sheamus to kind of talk about, what happened with him in Monday Night Raw. And that was basically it. That was the only build we got between Sheamus and the Big Show for Hell in a Cell, was those two, I want to say about 30 to 45 second promos. I'm not going to complain about it, but still. Follow-up match for this week's main event, it was Kofi Kingston and Michael McGillicuddy. Oh, 2 out of 5 at best for this match. McGillicuddy, you know, I used to sing his praises a lot when I saw him on NXT, and he was part of the Nexus because guy's talented, the son of the legendary Mr. Perfect Kurt Hennig. You know, I don't know why they could never just give him the gimmick, you know, being the son of perfection, Kurt Hennig, or son of perfection, Joe Hennig, because he could have made that run. He can make it work. But instead, they're sticking with Michael McGillicuddy, which is, I believe, his mother's maiden name, if I'm not mistaken. You know, still got a lot of high hopes for the guy, but I believe, all honestly, now guys, remember, it's Michael Cole and Miz on commentary. By the way, Miz, where did you get your jacket from? The Blue Plate special at Jim Cornette's Dresses for Guys? I have no idea. But anyway, or should I say Suits for Guys? But you never know. It's Jim Cornette. You know, he always wore the outlandish attires. And that jacket Miz wore, you know, kind of makes me question who wears worse clothing, Al Snow or the Miz, you know. But anyway, I believe what they really were using this for is, you know, it was a short 4 to 5 minute match between Kingston and McGillicuddy, where Kingston got the win, and then they had Miz go in, and you guys remember the confrontation between Miz and Kofi Kingston with Larry King now on Monday Night Raw. They were doing a promo after the match was over to kind of build up a rivalry between Kingston and The Miz. And now we have a lead-in for next week's main event. And that's going to be Kofi Kingston taking on The Miz for the Intercontinental title. Now, the way I see this going, I'm not going to talk about, you know, it could be a little bit obvious, you know, maybe not. But again, this is just an assumption. You know, we're looking at something between Kingston and The Miz, obviously. Maybe something that they could use at Hell in a Cell. You know, it would have, yeah, it could have made sense for them to make the challenge for Hell in a Cell, but you know, probably it's okay for them to do it for a main event. But what they could probably do is, you know, again, this is just an assumption. I am not saying it. I know I read a dirt sheet or anything like that because the match has not even happened yet. So this is just based on assumption. You know, a possible scenario we could be looking at here is The Miz will drop the Intercontinental title to Kofi Kingston on next week's main event, and then we have the follow-up, you know, the return match at Hell in a Cell. It's a likely possibility it could go that route. So, in all likelihood, if we do see Kofi Kingston win the Intercontinental title next week on WWE's main event, that's the scenario we could be looking at. So, what I want to know from you guys out there, the viewers and subscribers, what are your thoughts on WWE's main event for this week of October 10th, 2012? Be sure you put your comments in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and favorite this video. And don't forget to please subscribe to youtube.com/WrestleGamer and youtube.com/ZFXTV Network and ZFX Fame. So with that being said, I'm Double B Billy Boudreaux saying thank you very much for watching.